Hey guys, my name is Harry Dell and this is Boxing Chat. Alright, so my reaction to last night's fights. The Mayweather Maidana fight was a great fight. It was something that not a lot of people expected from Maidana, being the 8-1 underdog. And in that fight, I had Maidana winning that fight. You know, it was a very close win. I could also see a draw. You know, I can't argue with the draw, but I didn't believe Mayweather won that fight. But anyways, before I get more into that, let me just go ahead and run through the other fights that happened. Jalen Love versus Paraban. Just to cut it short and sweet, Jalen Love is overrated, and he's really not that good. He's okay, but at a world-class level, no, he's not even there. And he's not getting any younger. I mean, he at his age, he should be in his prime, but he's not even there. He's just looking like a prospect over and over again. But anyways, moving on to the next one. Broner versus Molina. Adrian Broner, he is starting to gain a lot of haters because you could just hate this guy very easily. He did not look impressive in that fight. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that, because all this talk about he's gonna knock him out and make an example out of him, and also the bullshit about that, you know, Molina's not on his level, and it was just, for all that talk, he just did not deliver on fight night. Adrian Broner is still very average. He had talent early in his career, and I guess he just forgot about it and tries to be the attention whore and tries to be famous. That's really all he gives a fuck about right now. Because, you know, every fighter in the beginning of their career has the talent. Once you bring it up to the professional ranks, it's where you have to take it to the next level and improve and admit that there's certain things you need to work on. But Adrian Broner, in that fight against Molina, he was getting hit with the exact same shots. Just to put it simple, he's been hit with the exact same shots over his career. And if you know boxing, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to run through this whole thing. I don't want to make this video too long. But if you know boxing, if you've seen Broner's fights, you know what I'm talking about. There's really just a few things you need to beat Broner, and that is solid power, move forward, be aggressive, and that's pretty much it. Have some defense. You know, Broner is just not a difficult fighter to fight. He really just stays there waiting to get hit, tries to be defensive, but he's not. He tries to be flashy with his punches. He tries to loop in with those right hands, and his triple left hooks, they're not even left hooks. He just like bends it. He just bends his arm real quick, and those fucking loud ass noises. Like, what the fuck is? There's obviously no power behind those shots. He squares up a lot while he throws. Does he stand a chance in the 140-pound division? No, because everyone assumes now, because Broner moved down to 140, oh, there's be more opportunities for him. He'll be able to compete better. Come on, guys. Look who's at 140. If you know boxing, look who's at 140. It's just as stacked as 147. Broner, if he really wants to come out and be an elite fighter, he has to dominate the 140-pound division, and he will not dominate it, because you have Matisse, Provonikov, you have all these other fighters, Garcia, you even have you know, Peterson. You know, he can't compete with these guys, especially fighting the way he fights now. But anyways, moving on. Khan Collazo, that was a good fight for Khan. Collazo just to simplify it, you know, he didn't have any answers to Khan's speed, to Khan's style, pretty much. It looked to me like Collazo was trying to read Khan. It seemed to me like Collazo was trying to find out if he had any type of pattern in his offense, as far as, you know, what type of punches does he throw and what kind of openings does he leave. But what Khan was doing really well was he was mixing it up. He wasn't coming in with the exact same shots. He wasn't coming in with the exact same combinations. He was mixing it up very well, and that's why Collazo, it almost seemed like he was just waiting for an opportunity, when really he was just trying to figure out what's going on and try to come up with the right shot to counter with. But you know, as the rounds were going on, Khan just kept going and going. Um, so Khan looked good. He still has a lot of flaws, and one of his biggest flaws is pretty much in his defense. If you're gonna find flaws, it's gonna be in his defense the most. Why? Because Khan defends. Okay, let me put it like this. Khan uses his feet to defend himself, meaning he gets the fuck out of the way. He's in and out, and he moves very well. But when he's trapped in a corner or against the ropes, his stationary defense is non-existent, and it's just not there. He just brings his gloves up high and takes the shots and tries to see if he can catch and shoot. But you know, he can't catch and shoot. He ends up just getting tagged. So he needs to work on that, and pretty much he just needs head movement in there. He just needs head movement when he's in the pocket like that. But he just, you know, brings his gloves up and takes the shots, and that's going to get his ass knocked out again. So he needs to work on that. But other than that, he looked good. Not too highly impressed, or he was extraordinary, nothing like that. It was a good win. He still does a lot of fucking holding, but hey, it's just that's how he is. But anyways, moving on to the main event, Mayweather Maidana. Yeah, that was a very good fight. If you think Maidana won, if you think Maidana and Mayweather had a draw, if you think Mayweather won, I mean, you could really make an argument for all three of those. And by no means can you say Mayweather dominated, or Mayweather had a shutout win, or Mayweather schooled Maidana. You can't even say any of those things in this fight. I had Maidana winning the fight, very close. I could also see a draw possibly, but I did not see Mayweather win this fight because Mayweather, as we all know, he makes adjustments very quickly, very early on in the fight. And I didn't really see Mayweather make too many adjustments. All I saw was Mayweather starting to get used to Maidana's style towards the end of the fight, and Mayweather decided to start letting his hands go a little more. But in the center of the ring, where I expected Mayweather to be more effective, he really wasn't that much. Maidana was making him miss pretty often in the center of the ring, which surprised me because I thought Mayweather would be a little bit more sharp in the center of the ring. But Maidana has improved a lot, and like I said in my Keys to Victory video I posted before the fight, you know, I had said that you need good head movement to beat Mayweather, or at least to help you beat him. And Maidana was moving his head pretty well. There were some points in the fight where he forgot about that, but overall, Robert Garcia was, you know, reminding him, hey, you got to keep moving your head, you got to keep jabbing, you got to cut forward. Maidana did a very good job of smothering Mayweather's work, and he just, you know, he was unfazed by anything that Mayweather was coming at him. And if you look at the stats, I mean, Maidana landed 221, Mayweather landed 230. I mean, that's very close in a fight against Mayweather. I mean, nobody's ever done that when you're coming that close as far as landing punches. But yeah, and something else I noticed in the fight was Mayweather was very frustrated. He was complaining to the ref a lot, and you know, Maidana, we all know he's just a rough and tough type of fighter. You know, he'll fight you clean, he'll fight you dirty, he'll fight you fair, he'll fight you unfair. I mean, he just fights. And you know, there was a point in the late in the fight, Maidana threw a low blow. Mayweather started crying about it, trying to buy a point. But what I didn't like is, you know, Mayweather had landed a shot just like that. He landed a low blow with the right uppercut. But he disguises it very well. Why? Because he threw 2 or 3 more punches after it. But he threw very low. You can clearly see it. And I just don't like how, at least the stream that I was watching on Box Nation, they slow-mo the shot of Maidana hitting him low, but they don't even acknowledge the fact that Floyd had done it 5 rounds earlier. So I don't want to hear this whole Maidana's trying to cheat and he's a dirty fighter Floyd is dirty as fuck too. I mean, all those elbows. I mean, you can see he was trying to cut Maidana with them elbows and using the forearm. And fuck, was he holding like crazy, guys? I mean, come on. You know what I didn't like? I didn't like when Floyd said in the post-fight press conference, "Oh, you know, it was a tough wrestling match," trying to be like a smart ass. Like, shut the fuck up. You were the one holding the whole fucking fight. You can clearly see. I mean, it's nothing new. He's done this his whole career. He'll punch and he'll grab your ass. I mean, come on. And he was complaining about, oh, Tony Weeks. Tony Weeks was the man. Shit. If Kenny Bayless was the ref, Floyd would have gotten a point taken away because he was doing this. He took a point away from Khan from doing all this holding and doing all this unnecessary holding. So, I mean, I don't know. Who does he want? Joe Cortez back? He wants him to come out of retirement? Come on now. That's just bullshit. And as far as the gloves, I actually posted a video yesterday talking about it, saying that the dispute was over and Maidana's gonna wear his Everlast, but he didn't wear the gloves that he always wears. He didn't wear the Everlast MX gloves that are for punchers. He wore the Powerlock that are for fighters that have bad hands. So, I mean, when I saw Maidana coming out into the ring and I saw the black gloves, I knew. I was like, oh, here we go. Mayweather just kept bitching about it forever until they finally just said fuck it. And I just think that was just unnecessary. Because if you think about it, Mayweather has the advantage when he's wearing Grants because it's protecting his hands. Now, you're never going to see Floyd wearing Everlast. You're never going to see Floyd wearing Reyes. He's going to be wearing Grants. Now, people say, oh, well, why is it fair for Maidana to try to gain an advantage as far as gloves when, you know, the puncher glove will help him? Well, what the fuck? The Grant gloves will help Mayweather. Why? Because it'll prevent him from injuring his hand. And in a fight, that's very crucial. I mean, you hurt your hand in a fight, you're pretty much fucked. So, I don't want to hear this whole Maidana's trying to gain the advantage because of he wants his gloves and why can't he, if he wants to fight, he should just fight in any gloves. No, get the fuck out of here. Mayweather gains the exact same advantages because he's able to catch shots a lot better with bigger gloves that are more padded. And also, he is able to prevent himself from injuring his hands. So, I don't want to hear this whole bullshit that, you know, the sport needs to be cleaned up and it needs to be safe when his fighters were using Everlast and Reyes and all this bullshit on Friday's fight card and last night's fight card as well. So I don't want to hear that shit. But anyways, just in closing, it was a good fight. If there's a rematch, I'm going to favor Maidana in the rematch because I feel like Garcia is going to make a lot of good adjustments coming into the rematch as far as certain things that Maidana didn't do as far as following up with certain shots when he had the opening. Maidana had a very good opening throughout the fight with the straight right hand, but not as a lead, but as a follow-up punch, because Maidana did a very good job at punching to the body and coming straight in with the right hand to the body and jabbing up and coming in with the straight right hand to the body, and that was all fine, but he had an opening for another right hand up top. Now, I'm pretty sure Marcos Maidana and Robert Garcia will be working on that, on doubling up the right hand. And also, what Maidana didn't do in that fight was, when he threw the jab out, he didn't move his head out of the way, because Floyd loves to counter the jab with his right hand. All Maidana needs to do is, once he throws that jab, he's got to get down and try to counter with his own overhand right, because that would probably be the best chance of knocking Floyd out. So that's pretty much some of the things that he needs to do, and of course he's capable of doing. Very simple stuff that will help him in the rematch. And of course, if he's able to fight in his gloves, that's going to help him too, because come on, if Floyd can have an advantage with his gloves, why can't Maidana? But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, see you later.